All right, folks, today we're going to finish up part 3 on our series on boundaries. Somebody say boundaries. Yes, your boundaries are one of the most important things to have as a day trader, right? Now you need, number 1, a good strategy. You need the right setup. You need the right momentum. You need good price action. You need to have a good plan. And on top of all that, you gotta have boundaries. Your boundaries must be clear and defined. Now, here's what's important about boundaries, but most people don't talk about is this. Your boundaries need to match up with who you are. Somebody write that down. This is the most important thing. You can't have somebody else's boundaries because their boundaries match their personality. You need boundaries that matches your personality. You can't just copy somebody else's playbook, and you can't just listen to what everybody says, because what they're doing fits them. There's no one size fits all. You got to figure out what fits you. Now, in trading, there's 2 styles. Really, it comes down to 2 styles. You're either the tortoise or you're the hare. That's it. Your trading style boils down to whether you're somebody who can ride out a big, long drawdown without sweating bullets. You still have the nerve to come back and trade and get it back into profit. You can sit back and chill for a while. Or you're the type who can't take all that pressure. If that's you, maybe a quick stop loss and a smaller hit to the wallet is more your vibe. Now, here's one thing that's really important. You have to ask yourself this: can I sit in front of the computer for hours? Do I have that kind of stamina? Can I go 3 hours, 4 hours, and just chill and just wait for the right setup and not get burnt out? Or do I become frazzled, zombified after just an hour and a half of trading, looking at and then I start making bad mistakes? If that's you, if you go about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, and you're starting to get frazzled and you start not thinking straight, you might be the hare. You might not be able to go 5 hours straight, 6 hours, and that's okay. And if that's the case, you have to put boundaries in place that fits your personality. You might be somebody who has impulsivity. You're impulsive. You can't wait. 20 minutes goes by and you got to take a trade. You just feel like I got to do something. So you'll stab at a B+ setup or a C- setup, knowing that there's no momentum there to carry it through. But it's a life theme of impulsivity. Somebody say life themes. Yeah, we all as human beings have something called life themes. And until you dig deep and find out what your life theme is, you're going to still operate on it unconsciously. And it's going to affect your trading until you identify it, know yourself, know your life themes, and know your patterns. Once you understand all that, then you can build the boundaries that actually work with your personality. Now, when you finally know yourself, and okay, let's say I'm a hare. I'm not no tortoise. I can't go all 6-7 hours. I'll go crazy. I got to get my money, make it quick. Right? So now I can put on a stop loss that fits me. Now I could put the right amount of contracts for the trade. See, once you know your personality, then you could tailor your boundaries to the time of day that works best for you. When to take profit, when to call it quits. And nobody can tell you what's best for you. They can give you tips, strategies, but it's really your personality. Write that down. My personality that I have to tailor my boundaries around. If you don't know yourself, then That's where you got to get started at. You got to get real with who you are, then build the trading style that fits. It's like a customized suit. You ever go to a tailor and they, you know what I mean? They get that suit just customized and tailor fit. Hey, a tailor fit suit looks a whole lot better than something you get off the rack. Am I right about it? All right. Now let's keep going. Let's start with profit taking, for example. Because, how do we set these boundaries? How do we tailor them to fit our personality? Because, the truth is, the way you trade should match who you are, not who you want to be, right? Not who somebody else tells you are. They should match who you are. So, for example, let's take profit taking. You got to ask yourself, are you the kind of person who likes to lock it in quick? You know what I'm saying? Secure the bag right away? Or are you one of them to let it ride kind of folks? You want the thrill for the big win. You want 100 points. You want 200 points on the NASDAQ. You can see that the NASDAQ, if it goes back up to the fair value gap, you might get 700 points. If I let this thing ride all day, man, I'm going to go ahead and let this thing ride. Because that's your personality. So you create your boundaries based on that. For example, let's say you're trading 5 contracts. Now, if you're the type that likes things clear and cut, then you might want to set a firm profit level on all 5 contracts at once. You see your target hit, you get out of the game. You walk away, you take your money. Clean, simple, no fuss. But if you're the kind of person who loves to see how far the trade can go, you might want to split it up. Take small increments on your profits. Maybe you take profit on 2 contracts for your first target, another 2 on your second target. And then the last one, maybe that's your runner. You let it run all day, see what you can get. But now here's the thing. You got to know if you can handle the emotions. Somebody say emotions. Yeah. Because when you talk about you aren't just a robot. You are a person that has emotions. So now you have to understand and be realistic about your emotions. Can you be cool, calm, collected, or are you like, I can't, this is my anxiety levels going too high. I just got to hurry up and I got to cut my losses right now, or I got to hurry up and take profit. You have to know and be able to manage your emotions and be real with yourself, because when they come into play, they can override what you had already planned if you don't have boundaries. See, when you're letting it run, let's say you're in a trade, right? And you're just going to let it run. That market might bounce around, you know what I mean? It go up and down, it could chop for a while. It might be 2 hours of chop. And if you can't handle that, then stick to the first strategy. Just get your 10, get a scalp, 10 points, 15 points, scalp it, like Patrick Wheelan. Patrick Wheelan just got $600,000. I've been watching him for 2 years. You know what he does? The man just goes, big contracts, bull flag with momentum, 10 points, 15 points scalps, he's done. Bear flag with momentum, 10 points, 15, 20 points max, he's done for the day. Then copy trades it across 10 accounts in $600,000. I gotta give it to him. The man is consistent. He's patient, he waits for a setup, he gets his 10, 15 points, and he's done. Because he knows himself. That's how you get successful. Same thing with stop losses. You know, this is where you got to be real with yourself, because the market don't care about your feelings, right? You have to know, am I an aggressive trader or am I a passive trader? You know, aggressive trader, you might be okay with a wider stop, giving your trade a little room to breathe. If you're passive, you might prefer a tighter stop. Now, for example, let's say if you're an aggressive trader and you're in the NASDAQ, and let's say you can handle a 50-point stop loss. And you could just kind of sit there, you're okay with the ups and the downs, you know, as long as the overall plan stays intact. But if you're more passive, maybe a 10-point stop feels right. You're the type who'd rather take a small loss and look for another opportunity than just sit there sweating bullets. You know what I'm saying? I can sweat bullets. Me and my wife, we trade together. Me, I can sit there with 50 points and I'll dollar cost average after an hour or so. It goes down another 40, 50 points. I might just add another 3 or 4 contracts. My wife can't handle that stuff. No. She has to get out quick. 10 points and she's out. So you must trade according to who you are. Am I passive or am I aggressive? Right? If you're a go-getter, you're like the all-in type. You see A+ setup and you're ready to pounce. You're okay taking a few big swings. You want a big hit. You want a big home runs. Knowing you might miss, but when they do hit, they're going to hit hard. That might be you. Or you're more calculated. You like to dip your toes in the water a little bit, you know what I'm saying, before diving in. You wait for the confirmation, take a smaller position, manage your risk. That's smart. Both are smart. Both could work. It just depends on who you are. Okay, lastly, emotional management. This is the last thing about boundaries, and we're gonna be done for today. Your emotions, right? They try to do whatever they try to do, and you have to put a leash on those things. You got to like heel, like you walk the dog, and that dog try to run away, and you get back here. You pull that leash. That's how you got to do your emotions. You got to put a leash around your emotions. Hey, write that down. Leash it up. Heel, get back here. Because they're gonna try to go crazy on you. Yeah, you can't panic. You got to stay calm, cool, and collected. Now, if you're emotionally steady, you know what I'm saying, you could hold back, you could hold on to the pullbacks. But if you're prone to stress, set tighter stops. Because man, you're gonna bite all your nails off if you can't handle some of this stuff. Because sometimes this action is crazy. I was in the NASDAQ, I was in a trade, and it jumped up 80 points. I was up 80 points on this trade. And I said, oh, this is gonna be good, I'm gonna ride it all day. Man, that thing dropped 120, stopped me out for break even. And then it took off another 500 points for the rest of the day. Boy, you gotta know your pain tolerance. The bottom line is this, everybody. Your trading boundaries are like a tailor-made suit, like I said. You gotta fit good. If you got your boundaries, you're gonna look sharp. Manage your emotions. Put on the guardrails, put the leash on your emotions and pull it back. Decide how many contracts to trade. Set your take profit. Set your stop loss levels. Choose the time of day that you're going to trade. And most importantly, stick to your plan. Don't mess around with it. It's like your grandma's recipe. Your grandma's sweet potato pie. Don't mess with it when it's in the oven. Just let it sit there. Let the trade play out. Because the pie's gonna taste better. You keep pulling that pie out too soon, it ain't gonna taste that good. All right, everybody listen. JP Legacy here. Understand yourself, get to know yourself, create the boundaries based off your personality. Put that nice fancy suit on and trade well, man. And when you're walking your dog, called emotions, you throw that leash on him and you pull him back. You say, nah, the sweet potato pie ain't ready, emotions. We're gonna let this thing ride and we're gonna sit here for another hour or so if need be, because we're gonna make a good $1,200 on this trade. Anyways, JP Legacy here. Love you guys. Take care and God bless.